Friends, I have something unbelievable to share with you. You may need a calculator, which you'll find on your phones, to help me get through this calculation. I heard this idea. I shared it with my wife. She then, at 3 a.m. last night, wrote it out for me, woke me up to tell me that it was absolutely precisely correct in an unbelievable way. Please open your calculators, open your minds and your hearts to the following amazing idea. A little bit of background before we get to this amazing calculation, which is going to hopefully help us, lead us to Yomot HaMashiach and real shalom, real peace. We know that the world can exist as is for a maximum of 6,000 years. This is mentioned in numerous places. It's hinted at in the first pasuk of the Torah, where we see the letter Aleph appears 6 times, and Aleph is 1, same letters as Elef, which is 1,000, and therefore 1 equals 1,000. Therefore, we know that there are 6,000 maximum years the world can exist as is. That idea is known. Shlom HaMelech, King Solomon, made the following unbelievable prediction in Kohelet that I guess was known. I will see that it was known. But today, literally today, we're seeing how incredible the wisest of all people was when he made the following prediction. What does King Solomon say, Shlomo HaMelech say in Kohelet, in Ecclesiastes? He says that there are certain times, certain seasons that come upon the world. You're familiar with the very famous expression, there's a time to be born, there's a time to die, there's a time to kill, there's a time to heal. And he goes through different seasons, L'kol zman et tachat hashemayim, that exist. It's hard to know exactly what King Solomon is talking about. He actually lists 28 seasons, zmanim, that exist. There's a book called the Lev Eliyahu Bar Eliopian, and he quotes the Vilna Gaon, who understands King Solomon's words in a remarkable way. He says that what King Solomon is actually doing is telling us that all 6,000 years of Jewish history are divided up into 28 seasons. So you can divide 6,000 by 28 seasons. So open your calculators, those who are watching online or those people who are here. And what do you get when you divide 6,000 by 28? Because Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, is telling us that you end up, it's more than 214. 214.285571, on. Okay. So now we know that there are 214.285 years inside each of these 28 seasons that all of world history can be divided into. Fabulous. Let's take 6,000 and let's take away 214 from the end. What do you end up with? So 6,000 minus 214.285. You're going to end up with 5786 if it's just 214. That's this upcoming Rosh Hashanah. This upcoming 5786 begins, and the upcoming Rosh Hashanah, that's when it begins. What was the 28th time that King Solomon refers to? What's the last of the 28? A time for shalom, peace. That is the final tukufah, the final season that King Solomon speaks. That's the 28th. So we know from 5786, from that Rosh Hashanah, begins 214 years of shalom, according to the calculation of King Solomon. But we said the number is not 214, the number is 214.285. So we're going to have to work backwards and back up into the current year we are in right now in order to find out the exact moment that this final season of shalom really begins in. So how are we going to do that? So we have to look at the year we're in right now, 5785, which is not a leap year. How many days are there in this year that we're in right now, 5785? There are 355. 355 days in this leap year. So we're going to have to figure out where this 0.285 appears in the 355. If you go back and you divide it, you'll see that you end up with 101.428 or 45. If you remember, you have to round up the second number. So now we have 101 and a half days into this year that we're in right now in order to figure it out, where this season actually begins, because it's creeping into our year. So check this out. Let's do this. We have a few months. We have Elul. Elul is how many days? 29. 29 days. You have Av. We're working backwards from Rosh Hashanah, okay? The one that's upcoming. You have 29 days of Elul. So deduct that. You have 30 days in the month of Av. You have to deduct that. You have Tammuz, which is 29 days. Deduct that. You're left with 13 days before then as well. So you have 29 plus 30 plus 29 plus 13 to reach the golden number of 101.42 or 0.45, which takes us to the 18th day of Sivan that passed already. That's when the Shalom time actually begins, which falls on June 14th, Shabbat, or the day before, because you have to add a little bit, take a little bit more off. Friday, June 13th. What happened? On Friday, why I was correct. What happened on that day, on that Shabbat, that started the day before June 13th? The bombing of Israel in Iran. That's what started then. That is the exact, precise calculation of King Solomon's 28th season of Shalom beginning in this world. When you work it out, mathematically, it falls punct exactly on that day. And that is when the 28th wordings of Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, begins real Shalom peace. Can you see that? It's unbelievable how the words of King Solomon, according to the Vilna Gaon, has worked out precisely right now. So that means right now, my friends, we are living in the ultimate time of Shalom, the ultimate time of peace. According to King Solomon's description of an et of a Shalom time that will, B'ezrat Hashem, lead us into the final Geulah, the final redemption. Okay, I had to share that with you. It blew my mind. And it was worth my wife waking up at 3 a.m. to tell me. Very, very cool.